Well, welcome everyone to this information session on Chartered Banker MBA. Welcome to Bangor in North Wales, UK. Let me introduce myself. I'm Professor Ted Gardner and I'm the Chartered Banker MBA Program Director. And I'm going to start this informal session with a short overview of the program. But please feel free to interrupt me to ask any questions as I give this overview. We'd like the session to be interactive, and anyway, we have scheduled a question and answer open session at the end of my overview, after which I'll be passing across to Lisa Jones, the Chartered Banker MBA Program Manager. Chartered Banker MBA has a number of distinguishing features. First of all, it comes from a very strong partnership between Bangor University's Business School, the Bangor Business School, and the Chartered Banker Institute in Scotland. The Bangor Business School is one of the top European schools in banking research. It's consistently ranked #1 in Europe and in the world top 25 institutions for its banking research. It's the only institution able to offer the dual award of MBA and professional chartered banker status. It's the only organization, the only university in the world that's able to offer this unique dual qualification. And the Chartered Banker Institute is the only professional institute able to award chartered banker status. We see Chartered Banker MBA offering two key value propositions to all of our students and delegates on the program. First of all, the program comes from a university, a business school that is in the elite UK group of top institutions for teaching excellence and student satisfaction. You'll see in the bottom right-hand corner of all my PowerPoints, on each one there's a little strap line showing our ranking for teaching and research. We're also one of the top business schools in the world for our banking research. And this has been a long-standing tradition at Bangor. Banking scholarship, the involvement of our economists and latterly our business school in banking has had a long historical path. It traces back to 1902, in fact, when George Ray, a famous English country banker, endowed a series of public lectures at Bangor in banking, and that lecture series has attracted some of the top banking thinkers and practitioners of the day. So we have a long tradition, a long history of being involved in banking and banking research. What is Chartered Banker MBA? What exactly is it? First of all, it's a groundbreaking qualification with a strong commitment to raising standards of professionalism in banking. And after the 2007-2008 financial crisis, the global crisis, that became a very strong priority, both of responsible bankers and bank regulators, as well, of course, as other stakeholders in the banking industry, not least of which is society at large. So it's a groundbreaking qualification. It's also a dual award, which means essentially that when you finish your studies, you gain a top-class MBA and professional chartered banker status. And also, it's a blended learning program. It is a program of part-time study for busy professionals who want to remain in the world of work. Blended learning, as we'll see later on, involves a portfolio of different learning experiences which complement each other, and it allows flexibility, which we've highlighted. Very, very important. That means that you can choose to study as many or as few modules as you wish each semester, and it means also that you may find that your work commitments are very, very high, but you may want to shelve studying anything on Chartered Banker MBA for a semester to do some big project, some big demand that you have in your professional work. So it has that great flexibility of time and modules that you're able to do. I should emphasize as well right from the beginning that this program is fully equivalent to a full-time master's program. There's no difference at all between a blended delivery master's and a full-time program. In fact, in many respects, both of those kinds of programs are coming together because both of them involve blended delivery of some kind. Both of them involve reliance on a virtual learning environment, which I'll talk about shortly. So it is important to emphasize that there is no difference at all in the ranking, the quality, the experience, and the reputation of a blended delivery program compared to any full-time program. Brief look at the course structure here. The full program comprises 12 modules. Typically, they involve 24 months of study. You have to do 8 compulsory modules and 4 electives. Electives, these are modules that you can choose, and we recommend that you do 3 modules each semester. That's a very respectable load, typically 2 compulsory and 1 elective. You'll note as well that there are a number of fast-track programs. If you already have a professional banking or accountancy qualification, you are exempt from some of the modules. We don't require you to repeat material that you've already studied and gained a pass in at level 7. Level 7 means at master's level in the UK sector. If you already have an MBA or a master's in a congruent academic discipline, you can do the super accelerated program, which means you only do 4 modules. In all of these programs, you're also required to do a minimum period of work in business. The minimum period for the full program is 3 years, and we require you to do a little bit more for accelerated and super accelerated programs. The compulsory modules are assessed by examination and by 1 written assignment. The elective modules are assessed by a 5,000-word mini project, which we encourage you to turn into a consultancy project and focus on some issue, some problem that you're having in your practical world of work, so you can apply the theory, the techniques that you study on the program into the world of work. This is an MBA. That's what we want you to do. Throughout the program, we encourage you to test, to experiment with everything that you do in the world of work. That's a very, very important part of the MBA experience. Let's have a look at the module structure now and in a bit more detail. And you can see the 8 compulsory modules here, and you choose any 4 from this portfolio of electives. When you first look at those, that array of modules, you'll see that many of the modules, most of the modules, are the kind of modules that you would see in any MBA. They're what we call generic modules. So in any MBA program, you'll see a corporate strategy module, managerial economics, human resources, organizational behavior, research methods, marketing. So generic modules are covered within this MBA program, just as they are in any other MBA program. But also the thing that differentiates this program is that there are an array of more specialist banking and financial services modules. You'll see, for example, in the compulsory modules, these starred modules are what we call core modules, and they reflect our commitment to professionalism and our mapping into a professional qualification at the end of this program. So financial institutions, risk management, which is, by the way, a module that I direct at the moment, credit and lending, and professional ethics and regulation, they're core modules, which means they all have to be passed. You can't use excess marks in one module to compensate for a slight fail in any of these 3 modules. They've all got to be passed. So if you've got 45% in financial institutions risk management, you have to repeat that module, repeat the exam, whatever the exam board decides, to get that pass mark up to 50%. So those are 3 core modules. The other modules within the compulsory module set, you have to pass, but you're allowed some litigation across modules. In the case of elective modules, exactly the same. Some litigation is allowed. In the case of these modules, they're each assessed, as I said earlier, through a 5,000-word mini project. So, what is blended delivery? What is blended delivery or blended learning? How does blended learning work? The heart of blended learning in Chartered Banker MBA, as it is in any similar model delivered in this way, is the virtual learning environment, which is Blackboard, which is the same VLE, which is used for all degrees at Bangor University. It's one of the most widely used VLE in the Western world. And the virtual learning environment is an electronic platform for all your course material, essay submissions, and all communication with the lecturer and with other students through chat boxes, emails, etc. It also houses your main course material, the 3 study guides, which are mapped into a core textbook, a textbook for each discipline. You receive hard copies of the textbook and the study guides as well. And each module is built around these books, a textbook and the study guide material, and you are taken through that, and the virtual learning environment provides the pathway for doing that. Complemented within the BLE and complementing it are live WebEx sessions like the one we're having today, where you will typically be with the module director and all the delegates on your course, and you'll be going through material and discussing issues and problems on that module. There are pre-recorded lectures that are set up on the BLE. At the end of each semester, if you're doing a compulsory module and have examinations, you're invited to Bangor for a revision session over a number of days in which you do intensive revision, you take the examination, and we typically bring in outside specialists as well to provide, an after-dinner talk or an evening event as well on a banking topic. In the program as well, you will be assigned a personal tutor, and that's an academic at Bangor with whom you can communicate and discuss any problems that you're having on the program in a personal, confidential manner. So he or she is there to help and make sure that you're getting along okay, and you need to tell them if you're having any problems. We also ask our students to elect representatives for the geographic jurisdiction in which they are located. Students on this program come from countries literally all over the world. At the moment, we have students from over 60 countries on the program. And in each of those jurisdictions, there's a student representative elected by students in that jurisdiction, and the student representative acts as a kind of semi-informal channel and a formal channel to the academic director and the student support mechanism of the Bangor Business School and the student liaison group, and they channel problems students may be having, suggestions for course improvement, things they particularly like on the program. All of that is fed into our student support system, our student feedback system. And throughout your studies, our academic and administration support teams are there to literally to support you. You have telephone, email contact with them, chat box contact with them as well. We value very, very highly our student support. Bangor is ranked as one of the top universities in the UK for student satisfaction, as well as the quality of our teaching. So we're very proud of that. It's always been a Bangor thing, and that's something which we encourage you to avail of once you become a student on the program. This program delivers a number of learning outcomes and career benefits, which we're summarizing in these bubbles here. And putting all of those together, we can come up with a number of observations on what makes this program different, how it contributes in a unique way to your career and understanding within banking and financial services, whether you're working within that industry or whether you're a consultant or an accountant or an advisor in a company outside the industry, but you deal with the industry, as banking and financial services is one of the most important industries in any country. Why would you do this program rather than a program from another business school? Well, first of all, just being very selective, this is a program that enables you to understand how generic MBA discipline areas are part of an integrated managerial system. That's what we mean by holistic. That enables the shaping of profit, risk, and performance in any bank. Program that enables you to recognize and understand why banks are special and important in all economies. It helps you to understand why and how banks are regulated, both nationally and internationally. It's a program that enables you to appreciate and sign up to why and how ethics and professionalism must be the foundations of a modern bank's value proposition to all its stakeholders, and also to appreciate why professional and ethical management are consistent with competitive and profitable banking. The program enables you to understand the key economic and managerial roles of banks as responsible risk takers and efficient risk managers in any economy, and enables you to translate into practical strategy and decision making why and how downside risk, for example, and uncertainty are important parts of a bank's overall risk management function. They have a particular importance in banking and financial firms, the problem of uncertainty and downside risk, as well as the kinds of risks that you deal in a mainstream corporate finance course. Overall, this is a program that enables you to confront and to handle the complexities and challenges of the fast-changing banking and financial services market, the ever-evolving financial services industry. So those are areas, those come from our value propositions that make this a rather unique, a very unique program for a very unique industry. And we now come to the question and answer part of this session. Please feel free to ask any questions about the program. Not necessarily areas that I covered. I've been selective in my presentation to you this afternoon, but I'm happy with my backup team behind me to answer any questions you may have. And I will be handing over to Lisa very shortly, who will take you through the applications process and remind you that those who attended the session today have 20% off the headline course fees. They say there's no such thing as a free lunch, but I guess we're trying to get fairly close to that one with that 20% offer. So any questions on what I've said? Anything you'd like me to elaborate or to go into in a bit more detail? Over to you, both.
Okay, I have a question.
Okay, sure.
Yeah, so my name is Mona. I work in a financial service company in Birmingham. And I just want to find out the 20% off that you've given us today. Is it the 20% of the entire course fee, or is it something else?
No, it's 20%. Lisa perhaps can elucidate that. Lisa's going to talk about that a little bit shortly. Can you hear me at the moment, Lisa?
Yes, certainly. Hi, Mona. Yeah.
Hello, yes, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. It's 20% off the headline fees. Off the entire fee.
So it's 20% of the fee. So how much is the fee for the home students?
Okay, so it's a global program, so the fees are the same regardless of where you are in the world.
Okay.
But it depends on which route you're coming through on. I think you have been pre-approved, haven't you, Mona?
Yes. Was it the 12 months distance learning?
Yes. So it's the full program that you're looking at. So it'd be 20% off the 15,500.
Okay. All right.
It's probably worth noting as well. We do have flexible payment options as well, so that you can either pay on a monthly or semesterly basis, and you can even increase your study and reduce the semester and monthly payments as well.
Okay. And is there a time limit for accepting the 20%
Yeah,
offer?
This is for April.
April. All right. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. We do have another offer, the early bird, which ends on the 23rd of February. But this offer is available for a little bit while longer until the end of March.
All right. Okay. Thank you for that. Just another question I have was the course, it says Chartered Banker. So would you get the title to Chartered Banker as soon as you graduate with the MBA, or is there a period you have to qualify to get a title of a Chartered Banker?
No. You immediately gain that qualification. You immediately become a full member of the Chartered Banker Institute. So you have a full professional qualification, a full designation on completion of the program immediately. And at our degrees ceremony for your MBA, at the same time, Chartered Banker Institute will be there, and they'll be presenting you with your professional membership certificate on the same day.
Okay. So can I ask you, where do these students, the graduates, their destination, is it mostly working in banking sector?
The students on the program come, I guess the single biggest group is from the banking sector, but we also have lots of students from the accounting sector, for example. We've had lots of students who are professional accountants who are dealing with the banking industry and want to understand more about it. We have consultants on the program. We have folk who are in the treasury divisions of corporates on the program as well. So we have people from central banks, we have people from regulatory agencies as well. So quite a mixed, as well as the main banking sector, so quite a mixed group of students come onto this program. We also have quite a few lawyers, and many of those lawyers are working in the banking industry, but lawyers who are in law firms who are specializing in banking industry work as well and want more insightful professional knowledge on how the industry works and how individual firms they're dealing with are managed. So quite an eclectic group of students. And I should say as well, that's a really good question, because it also reminds me to mention something about the revision sessions that are held at the end of each semester here in Bangor, where you're invited. It's not a compulsory part of the program, but where you're invited to come along and do your intensive revision here at Bangor, working with the module director and your other fellow delegates, and then to take the exam here at Bangor. A very, very important part of the MBA experience is this mixing face-to-face and interacting with professionals from lots of different industries and from lots of different countries as well. And that's a very important part of any MBA experience, and it's really pleasing to see that the kinds of friendships and professional relationships that are built up through students working on this program that last into their career and way beyond. So I just wanted to make that point. I think that's a very important externality that comes from a program like this. Sorry, Mona, that was a bit of a long answer.
Yeah, it's all right. Yeah, that's fine. Just the last question is, because I'm based in Birmingham, I do not see any professional organization that offers the same in terms of the Chartered Banker course, the MBA course. However, because I'm based in England and the awarding body is in Scotland, is that going to make any detriment? Do I have to travel to Scotland if I get the award from the body there for work?
No, this is the BANGOR MBA is very much an international award as well, by the way, and make that point. And it's the same with the Chartered Banker qualification. The Chartered Banker qualification, like ACCA, is an international qualification, and the Chartered Banker Institute want to develop this qualification as a qualification that's relevant to anyone working in a bank anywhere in the world. And they run CPD events in London, and a lot of it's online these days, but they are willing to run CPD events anywhere where there is demand for them. So please don't feel that in Birmingham, very, very important place, Birmingham, that somehow you're disadvantaged. Absolutely not at all. We get lots of students from England, of course, and from the banking sector, one of the biggest banking sectors in the world, in England. So absolutely international qualification. It has its roots in Scotland, of course, that's where it began, but it is very much an international qualification.
Okay, that's very good. Okay, thank you for that.
Okay.
Hello there. So I've got a question. My name is Amanda. I have a bit of a stammer there. So a colleague and myself, we are both looking at taking this course, but we're looking at doing it at 2018. We've literally just finished a postgrad in financial crime compliance, so looking to take a break this year. And so I was wondering, for the 2018, do you have dates for when those courses begin and when we should begin the application process for, sorry, 2019. We're already in 2018. The years are blurring together.
Again, Lisa will confirm that. We have 2 intakes a year. We have an intake in October, an autumn intake each year, one in October, one in March. Those are the 2 semester dates. I don't myself have the exact dates by when the term starts on those semesters you're talking about, which is spring 2019 and autumn 2019, but they're pretty similar year on year. And I think that we would advise that your application process should begin towards the end of this year. But Lisa may have something to say on that. There may be offers around that may pay you to apply earlier, but then you've got to be you've got to trade off your registration period against that. Lisa, do you have anything to add?
Yes, please, if you don't mind. Hi, Amanda.
Hello there.
Hi. Yes, just to make you aware, the fees for the programme are increasing after the April intake. We don't know by how much yet. But what you could do is you could apply now. You'd automatically get a re-offer for the October session if you wanted to. And the advantage of doing that anyway is if you pay your deposit, you'd secure the current fees. So with this 20% discount, you could quote that code and pay your deposit, and the fees would be confirmed regardless of when you start. If starting at the end of the year was an option for you.
Okay, thanks very much. It'll probably be more closer to March for 2019, so I will take on board the increase in fees, which is fine.
Sure. Okay, sure.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Amanda. Thank you. Okay, folks, do we have any more questions? And if, when the session is over, you log off and suddenly think, oh gosh, I wish I'd asked that question, please don't hesitate to email us and we'll immediately respond to you, or give the telephone number and we'll give you a ring. So please don't feel that it's all or nothing in this session. And it's quite often that attendees of a session like this will think of something in the evening or the day afterwards, and we're always open for discussion with our prospective students on this program.
No.
Hello, yep. Do I hear a voice?
This is Tazo calling from Cameroon.
Oh, wow. Hello. Good. Hi. Got a question?
Yeah, not a question, but I just wanted to appreciate the session.
Okay, thank you.
And to indicate, I already posted my 2 questions in a written format to Lisa Jones, and we've been in communication for the past 2-3 years concerning the Chartered Banker MBA program, which I registered, and unfortunately I could not get in onto the program because of some financial challenges.
Okay.
But I think, God willing, by next year I'm going to be on. I actually enrolled into another international professional master's program in international relations, specialty money, banking, and international finance.
Okay.
Which I was inquiring to know from Lisa if it's possible for some of the courses that we do here, which may be compatible with the program in the MBA or the Chartered Banker program, whether we could have some waivers. But I think we'll discuss that maybe when time comes. So I just wanted to appreciate this session and to indicate my interest to be a student on this program in the future.
Well, that's brilliant. You know, we look forward to seeing you on the program, and you'll know from your own experience that we do everything we can to keep our students on the program, because this is a tough program. You know, we don't give this away. That's why we demand for the program is high, and a growing volume of students on the program. At the moment, we're taking in approaching 200 students a year. We've grown from around about 20 students in 2011 when we launched to many hundreds of students have now gone through this program. So there is high demand for it, and we, again, it's a BANGOR thing, but we pride ourselves on our close working relationships and real genuine friendships with our students. And if you have problems and you have to exit for a while, you'll know from your own experience that we have the flexibility to handle that, and we do everything we can to help you to get back on the program. And if you have done another program and accumulated some level 7 credits, the kind of mitigation that you're talking about when you reapply will be to see whether the modules that you've done on any other program give you the opportunity to gain some exemptions from Chartered Banker MBA modules. So that's something which I'll have a look at with Lisa as well, and see if that's relevant to your particular case. But thank you for those words. Thank you. Good to hear from you.
Okay. Just one last question?
Yeah, of course.
Yes, I just wanted to find out, can we get any statistics from the number of students that have actually gone through the program from Africa, or maybe precisely from our own country, Cameroon? There can be a boost or an encouraging statistics table for me.
Yeah, I'm sure that we can, Lisa can email you those summary statistics.
Okay.
I can say...
Yeah.
Sorry,
yeah,
Lisa.
Tazo, I can give you some stats now, actually. We have a current student studying from Cameroon, and we've had quite a lot of interest. We've had about 21 people apply for the program from Cameroon, but no one yet has completed the program.
No one yet is in the program?
Completed. We have people on the program, but they're yet to graduate.
But, okay, but I've not yet graduated.
Yeah, but from Africa as a continent, there's about 40% of our graduates from Africa.
Africa, very, very important.
That from Africa, you have about how many?
About 40% of our graduated students are from Africa.
Okay, okay, that's interesting.
Yeah,
but then, how does the graduation program go at the end? Does graduation go at a distance, or people need to move to get to campus to get officially? Yeah, well,
that's up to you. You'll be invited to attend. We'll have the ceremony here in BANGOR. So you can attend that, and afterwards we have a little ceremony at the management centre as well, where you'll get your certificate for the Chartered Banker membership.
Okay. Okay.
But you don't have to attend those. You'll get your certificates by courier if you decide not to come.
Okay. That is if you don't want to travel.
That's right.
Yes. Okay. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Lisa. It's a pleasure meeting you. Bye.
Thank you.
Okay.
Can I just add a little note to that as well? Yes, just to support everything that Lisa has said, but just also to say that we do actually get lots of students who come from Africa and the Bahamas as well, who come for the graduation ceremony, because it's a very, very unique experience, the graduation ceremony at Bangor University here in Wales, and it's one of the very impressive and enjoyable degree ceremonies to be involved in. But anyway, that's your decision. You don't have to come to Bangor to get the degree. We can post it to you if necessary. Okay, so do we have any more questions?
Yes, hello.
Hello.
I'm Victor. I'm based in Germany.
Okay.
I would have a question regarding these revision sessions.
Okay.
That can be taken in the Bangor University.
Yep.
And my question is, what is the duration of these revision sessions? And are they per module, or can modules be combined? How are these sessions organized? Okay.
Well, typically they run over 4 days. You arrive on a Sunday. And they're geared, of course, to the compulsory modules that you're doing, because it's the compulsory modules that have a written examination. So For example, if you were doing credit and lending and financial institutions risk management in a semester, you would come along on the Sunday. You would then, on the Monday, you would have one whole day devoted to, say, credit and lending, and then the next morning you would have the credit and lending examination, and then the following day you would have a day of intensive revision on financial institutions risk management, and then the following day you have the exam. So that's basically how it works. And in the evenings, we try and let you get on with your revision in the evenings, but up until now, we've had a gala dinner on one night in which we invite a guest speaker in, and we have a nice dinner, and we invite lots of other people along. The session that's coming up in 2 weeks' time, we're looking at an alternative evening event, which is a little bit more informal, in which we're going to have, a visiting speaker who is the chief executive officer of the Florida Bankers Association, Alex Sanchez, who's a very good friend of this program and comes over once a year to give a talk, and he's going to give a little half-an-hour talk, and then we're going to have a sort of buffet session. So that's the kind of thing that we do during the revision week. So if you're doing 2 compulsory modules, typically 4 days.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Okay. I'm going to ask our Lisa, who's the Chartered Banker MBA Program Manager, if she's got anything to say. I think she may want to say a little bit on the applications process. Lisa, over to you.
Thank you, Ted. Yes, I just wanted to show you how you can access the application form if you're not sure how to do that. Andrew's going to open the tab kindly for us now. So on our website, you can navigate to Apply, which is on the left-hand side of the screen, and clicking on that section there will take you to this screen. If you click on Apply now, you'll get to the application form, and it's a very straightforward form. You just go through it, completing the relevant information about yourself. When you get to section 14, this is the part where you'll put the promotional code. If you put CBMBA Event 20 as is shown in there, when your application is processed, we'll see that and we'll apply the discount for you. I know that there's a couple of people that have applied that's in the session. Please do get in touch with us with this code because it does offer you greater discounts. Once your application's received, it will take about 48 hours for us to come back to you. We'll have liaised with the academic team and you'll receive an offer letter, and in that offer letter it will detail how you can make your payment to secure your place. So as mentioned, the next intake commences in April, so the intake will close at the end of March, so please do get in touch if you need any assistance at all with completing the application form. Let us know, and we'll try and assist you as best as we can. There are flexible payment options on offer, so we can look at your individual circumstances and advise you. But if you want to pay in full, there's an extra 5% discount, so that's almost, that is a quarter of the fees. So if you've got any questions, there's an instant chat facility on our website, email, Twitter, however you want to get in touch with us. We're really glad to hear from you. And thank you for joining today's session. Does anybody have any questions at all on the application process?
Yeah, I have. It's Mona.
Oh, hi, Mona. Yeah.
Yeah. So can I ask you, once we applied, you said there's a fee that we have to pay to save our place?
Yeah, that's right. It's the deposit. It just shows commitment that you want to enroll on that intake. Once we've received your deposit, we'll register you as a student.
Okay. How much is the deposit?
It's £500.
Okay. All right. So we have to pay the deposit, and then we have a place saved in April.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Okay. And then we'll profile then how the remaining balance can be paid, and we'll give you the options.
Okay.
And then you can get in touch with us, and we can extend that if you like, but through extending your schedule. So, yeah.
That's fine. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Hi, Rainier. Rainier's calling from the Bahamas, Ted.
Hello, sorry.
Hi, Rainier.
Hello, hi.
I just wanted to say to you, Rainier, that we also have some people from BANGOR in the Bahamas this week. We have Keith Checkley out there working with the Bahamas Institute of Financial Services, and they have an information session on Thursday at 4:30. You're very welcome to attend that one as well. Yeah. Does anybody else have any questions? No, well, I'll contact everybody by email just to thank you for attending this session. And so if you've got any further questions, perhaps you can email those across to us.
And from me, unless there are any more questions, can I also add my thanks to Lisa's, to you all for attending the session and for asking the questions that you brought up. And please, of course, feel free to stay in contact with us, and we hope that you will join us. And if you have any more questions, of course, please feed them to us. So thank you very much, and hope you enjoy the rest of your day and evening today. Thank you. Goodbye.